Hello and welcome. Today I will be teaching you guys how to color grade any type of footage in Premiere. The first step is to go to our sequence settings and make sure our color management is on disabled. This will make sure what we are seeing here is the exact same as what we get on our output. The next step is to add a Rec 709 conversion, which turns our flat log profile into Rec 709. To do this, we'll go into DaVinci Resolve, which is completely free. Then we'll go to the color page and add a color space transform. In the input color space and input gamma, we'll insert our camera settings. For me, this is going to be Rec 2020 and Apple Log. On the output color space, we'll put Rec 709 and Gamma 2.4, which is the standard. Now you can see our footage is converted into Rec 709. But how can we bring this effect into Premiere? Well, we're going to create a LUT. Right click on the clip, go to Generate LUT, and choose 65 point cube. I'll call this LUT Apple Log Rec 709. Back in Premiere, we're going to add an adjustment layer. Make sure the adjustment layer is selected, go to Lumetri Color, Basic Correction, and we're going to add an input LUT. Click on Browse, and this is going to be the LUT that we just created. Now you can see that our footage has been converted into Rec 709 using the exact same effect. Now that we did our Rec 709 conversion, we're going to add some contrast and saturation. Add a new adjustment layer. Go to Lumetri Color, go to Curves, and let's just add a simple S-curve. You can make it as strong as you like. As you can see, I kind of overdid the contrast here, and that's on purpose. On the top, go to Effect Controls, and now there's an opacity slider. Change the opacity to what you feel fit. Usually 50% works pretty well. Now you can see we've added a bit of contrast and saturation. The next step is to bring up our shadows and bring down the highlights. Bring the two adjustment layers up, and we'll add a new one. And now on the Lumetri Color, under Basic Corrections, we're going to bring up the shadows and bring down the highlights. As you can see, this gives us a more filmic feel. Now that we have the main adjustment layers done, it's time to go onto a clip-by-clip basis. We're going to go to Window and make sure our Lumetri scopes are turned on. If you don't see all of them, just right-click and turn them on. Now I'm going to look at my waveform and try and get my tops to end around 75 to 80. Unless it doesn't look good, then keep it higher. As you can see, this clip's really bright, so I'll try and get the tops to 80. Now with that one adjustment, our clip does not look overexposed. Going to do that for all of our clips. Doing this makes a big difference and makes our footage feel more filmic once again. For this clip, 80 feels extremely dark, so it's okay to go slightly above. Now it's time to fix the white balance. In most of my clips, I have something called a gray card. All I have to do is double click on the clip I want to adjust, press on the white balance dropper, and in the log footage, click on the gray card. This will white balance my footage. So once again, I double click the clip I want to adjust, click on the white balance dropper, and in our log footage, I click on the gray card. As you can see, this makes my footage look more blue because in camera, the white balance was too warm. This clip is an extreme example. What if you don't have a gray card? Well, one thing you can do is just to eyeball it, and I do this all the time. Just decrease the temperature until it looks correct. Something like that looks fine. If you want to be more precise, go back to our scopes. And here you can see that our red and green channels are much higher than the blue channels. This is why it is so orange. What you can do is change the temperature and tint sliders to try and match the peaks of them. I've got the red and the blue to match pretty well using the temperature sliders. To get the green to match, just make it less green by changing a tint more magenta. With my peaks aligned, it looks much better than eyeballing it. But again, it does take a lot longer than just hitting the dropper and hitting this gray card. The final step to color grading is to add a creative LUT. Go to New Item and create a new adjustment layer. The Color Grading Central has created 70 free LUTs that you can download and apply to your films. They're all really good. Make sure the top adjustment layer is selected, go to Creative, the Look, and the Browse, and we're going to choose a LUT that we like to add a creative look. For these shots, I think Wonder Woman would look amazing. Just click Open. And now, as you can see, the LUT is applied, but it is too strong, so we'll decrease the intensity. And now we ended up with this dramatic looking footage that could be straight out of a horror movie. If you wanted this to look more upbeat and happy, you could use a LUT like Summer. As you can see now, it kind of looks like a happy TV show. To color grade other types of footage, the process is exactly the same. Here's some Apple HDR footage. Go into Resolve and our input color space should be Rec 2020. Our input gamma will be Gamma 2.4, output color space will be Rec 709, and output gamma will be Gamma 2.4. And the exact same process we'll right click, regenerate LUT. I'm going to call this HDR to Rec 709. Now in Premiere, I'm going to add a new adjustment layer. And make sure I'm in our basic corrections, go to Browse, and choose our HDR to Rec 709 LUT. Now, as you can see, our HDR footage, which looks awfully white and weird, after the conversion looks back to normal. Now what I'm going to do is drag our highlights and shadows adjustments, drag our curves adjustments, and also drag our creative LUT over, as they're the exact same thing. Now it's time to correct the exposure, so go to the base clip, go to basic corrections, and change the exposure until the bar on top is under 80. And since I didn't use a grade card in this clip, I'll go to our lumetri scopes, and I'll try and level out the top. That looks pretty good. And this is the simplest way to color grade footage in Premiere Pro. Subscribe if you haven't.